اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. اللهم استغفر الله العظيم الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه. استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه. استغفر الله استغفر الله العظيم الذي لا. Can you guys hear me clearly? استغفر الله العظيم الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه. استغفر الله العظيم الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وعملا تقبلا يا أرحم الراحمين. استغفر الله العظيم الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه. استغفر الله العظيم الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه. استغفر الله العظيم الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وعملا متقبلا يا أرحم الراحمين. Allah teach us what benefit us, increase us in knowledge, in good morals and in good deeds, Ya Rabbil Alameen. We continue by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's blessings in explaining منظومة المقدمة فيما يجب على قارئ القرآن أن يعلمه من نظم إمام الحفاظ وحجة القراء excuse me محمد بن علي بن يوسف ابن الجزري رحمه الله تعالى, who was born 751 of the Hijrah and passed away 833 of the Hijrah, or after the Hijrah of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And we are in section 10, alhamdulillah. We are in section 10, باب أحكام النون الساكنة والتنوين. باب أحكام النون الساكنة والتنوين. Imam Ibn al-Jazari rahimahullah ta'ala says in this section, وحكم تنوين ونون يلفى إظهار إدغام وقلب إخفى فعند حرف الحلق أظهر والدغم في اللام والراء لا بغنة اللزم وأدغما بغنة في يؤمن إلا بكلمة كدنيا عنون وأدغما بغنة في يؤمن إلا بكلمة كدنيا عنون والقلب عند الباب غنة لدى كذا والقلب عند الباب غنة كذا لخفى لدى باقي الحروف أخذا. Alhamdulillah, we explained the first two lines. We explained al-idhar, and last time we stopped at the idgham. We stopped at the idgham, right? I showed you some of the from the Tajweed CD of Sheikh Ayman, may Allah reward him. And we explained al-idgham, right? Where exactly we stopped, guys? Who was there last class? والميقطين.
I was there. Remember we talked about may يعمل when you showed us when you showed us from when you showed us the CDs from Sheikh Ayman. When we talked about مدغم and yeah, we compared them. We compared الجزء اللساني الجزء الخيشومي for the إدغام.
Okay, بارك الله فيك. Okay. Okay, SubhanAllah, I'm very sorry. I had classes back to back. We had the class on May 1st, right? May 1st, I think the last class. May 1st was May 1st. Oh, May 1st. Bismillah. No, not this one. Is it May 1st? Not May 1st. Last Saturday
لا
was...
شيخ عبد الله 8 شيخ عبد الله آخر درس.
أيوة 8 May 8. Right. The file is May 8. 10/5. SubhanAllah, why I don't have it here? We didn't record it? We did? Ah, I was on the other computer. Okay. Okay. Khair, inshallah. We uploaded it there. Okay. طب ماشي. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. We explained al-idhar, and I'm sure we read the examples of al-idhar. And then we moved on. والدغم, we talked about idram in the lam and the ra, لا بغنة لازم. We also explained that, right? So let's start quickly from here. So we said al-idgham, bismillah, al-idgham, we're talking about idgham of the noon sakina or tanween into the following letter, right? And what's the general definition of idgham? The simple, easy definition of idgham, guys. What's the simple, easy definition of idgham? Huh? That we should know and teach the students. Who knows? Teachers? No one?
It's merging.
Drop the first.
Yeah.
Stress the second. Drop the first. Stress the second. In other words, drop the sakin. Stress the mutaharrik. Drop the sakin. Stress the mutaharrik. Okay? That's the general definition of all types of idgham, guys. All types of idgham. What do we have to have? We have a sakin letter. And we have a letter with haraka after it. We're going to drop the first, which is the sakin. Stress the second, which is the mutaharrik. Tamam? Now, there are some details. It will come. Some of them already came where we don't make complete idgham. We make incomplete idgham, etc. We explained all those. Here, فعند حرف الحلق أظهر. Now he says, والدغم means أدغم في اللام والراء. أدغم what? He's talking about nun sakin or tanween. Adghim means merge. Merge what? Merge the nun sakin or tanween. Where? Into what? Merge it into the lam and the ra. So if you have nun sakin or tanween followed by lam, you're gonna drop the nun sakin or tanween, stress the lam. So drop the first, stress the second. The ra, same thing. لا بغنة, with no ghunnah. لا بغنة, with no ghunnah. لازم, لا بغنة, لازم. لازم means it's necessary. What is necessary? The idgham is necessary. Okay, the idgham is necessary. And it is necessary in all of the words where you have nun sakin or tanween followed by lam or ra. So in the Sh.Abdullah way, also لازم بلا غنة, بلا غنة لازم. Means it's lazima bila ghunnatin, means it's lazim without ghunnah. Also in Sh.Abdullah way, in this type of idgham, you should not make a ghunnah, right? Idgham without ghunnah. Min rabbika, you're going to say mirra. The noon is gone completely with its ghunnah. Mallahum, mallahu, for example, the noon is gone with all of it. It's ghunnah and its oral or tongal part. Okay. As you can see, the noon, of course, the noon is produced by what? Touching the gum along with the ghunnah, right? And right? So this is very important also to understand the ikhfa, right? So to produce the noon, you touch the gum with the front part of the tongue along with the ghunnah. Now in the idgham, what will happen in the idgham? We no ghunnah in the idgham without ghunnah, no ghunnah, and the tongue will not touch the gum at all, will not touch the place of the noon. And instead it will go to the makhraj of the lam or the ra. Tamam? So idgham in the lam and the ra due to the proximity of their makhraj to the makhraj of the noon. Why we make idgham? Why the Arabs make idgham? Because it's easier. It's easier to say mirra, mir rabbika, and instead of saying min rabbika, min rabb, no, mir right away. You skip the noon, right? Man lahu, same thing. Malla. Okay, and all qurra they make this idgham, by the way. All 10 qurra, wallahu alam, they make this idgham. Tamam. So idgham makes it easier, particularly in this case. Why? Because the letters are close in their makharij, the noon and the lam and the ra. In il ar. And by the way, also to help you and to help students learn these 3 letters, they come consecutively, right? N il ar. So you have the noon first, right? You have the noon first, right? Then the lam, right? And then the ra. You have the noon, n, then you have the lam, l, then you have the ra, right? N, l, r, n, l, r. You have the noon comes first, right behind the teeth, n, move the tongue inward more, l, move it inward more, r, tamam? These are the 3 letters. So the general rule is that the letters that are close are usually merged, usually merged. We don't merge them by ourselves. There are rules that we have to follow. If they are far, they are usually clarified without any merging or ikhfa. Other than that, there will be ikhfa. And of course, how you know that? You know that from the rules that we're learning here. The idhar, the idgham, ikhfa, etc. So what's the idgham? We said إيصال حرف ساكن بحرف متحرك بحيث يصيران حرفا واحدا مشددا من جنس الثاني يرتفع المخرج عنهما ارتفاعة واحدة. It's very important to know this definition of idgham as teachers. Okay, for normal students, excuse me, as you mentioned in the beginning, drop the first, stress the second. Drop the sakin, stress the mutaharrik. That's it. So al-idgham is merging the first, which is the sakin letter, non-vowel letter, into the second mutaharrik vowel letter, so that they become one stressed letter of the type of the second letter. Okay, يعني, for example, we have min rabbika. Okay, it will become what? Mirra, right? Mir rabbika. So they will become one stressed letter, right? Which is of the type of which letter? Obviously the second, the ra, right? They become one stressed letter, which is of the type of what? Of the ra. Mirra. بحيث يرتفع المخرج عنهما ارتفاعة واحدة. We can add this here with one application of the makhraj. That's how I translate this sentence by the Shaykh. يرتفع المخرج عنهما ارتفاعة واحدة. What does that mean, guys? This means with one application of the makhraj. What does that mean? We don't say means we don't pronounce them as two separate letters. And this applies, this sentence here, okay? This applies to all the mushaddad letters, okay? Let me explain this to you. For example, when I say, Bismillah, Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. If I say, atha, or adda, let's say, adda. I say adda. This is ad, dal with sukoon, and then dal with a fatha, right? Suppose this is a sukoon. It's not, but suppose. Okay, adda. It's like this. When I, and suppose, let me give you the other example, the normal example. Let's say ad, let's say ad ra. Let's take adra. We don't have like, if they have sukoon, they will be merged. So look here. In this example, adra, we have a sakin letter and a maftuh letter, right? Here I say ad. Look, how many applications of the makhraj I'm doing. Ad, look, one, ad, ra, ad, ra. How many? How many applications for the makhraj I'm doing? Yalla guys, answer me. Unmute yourself and answer me.
2.
I'm doing 2, right? Ad, ra, right? And let me take another example. Let me take let's take a letter without qalqala. Just I want to show you the normal. Let's say asra. Asra.
Sheikh Abdullah, also you can use the word Allah, because a lot of people intend to make the first one light and the second one heavy.
Yeah,
This
that's
one,
another that's a different topic.
but this is to show that
that word confuses them a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll take this simple one, inshallah. Barakallah fiki. So for example, look here. S, ra, S, ra, S, ra, S, ra, S, ra, S, ra. I'm doing 2 applications of the makhraj. S, ra. 2 applications of the makhraj. While when I have a mushaddad letter like this, a mushaddad letter like this, a mushaddad letter like this, what do I do? Yes, I have a double letter, but I do 1 application of the makhraj. I don't say ad da. No, if I say ad da, I did not make idgham. That's not mushaddad. That is separated. That is mudhar. You see the point? But when you do the mushaddad letter, you do 1 application of the makhraj. And the same thing you do in the idgham, because idgham means you're making a mushaddad letter, right? So you're going to say what? Adda, not adda. Tamam? That is what he means in his saying when he says بحيث يرتفع المخرج عنهما ارتفاعة واحدة. Tamam? That is, and we mentioned this point when we talked about the difference between ikhfa shafawi and how ikhfa shafawi is a case between idhar and idgham. Tamam? So that is what he means by this. So I translate that as with 1 application of the makhraj. 1 application of the makhraj. Mirra, 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 not mir rabbika, not mir rabbika. Tamam? Is this point clear, guys? Okay. Sakin has a sukoon. Some people say sakina. The meme, they say the noon sakin. The noon sakin. We say noon sakina, not noon sakin. Noon sakin. As teachers, you have to know these simple terms. Noon sakina. We don't say noon sakin. And someone says this noon with a sakina. We say this noon with a sukoon. The noon with a sukun, not with a sakina. Tamam? These are just simple Arabic terms. Mutaharrik means it has a haraka. Okay, this simply means to drop the first letter, stress the second. There are two subdivisions of idgham of the noon sakina and tanween. We said idgham without ghunna, we take away the noon sakina. Tamam? We take away the noon sakina or tanween and we stress the following letter. We do this only with lam and ra. Taking the tanween away means to take one haraka away because the tanween is represented by the second haraka. We mentioned this many times, guys. Okay, when we have غفور رحيم غفور رحيم. Okay, غفور رحيم, of course it has tanween, right? غفور رحيم. Practically it is sorry, in pronunciation it is غفور رون سكون, okay, رحيم. غفور رحيم, right? غفور رحيم, right? The noon is sakina, right? So التنوين هو نون ساكنة لفظا في اللفظ. تمام؟ في اللفظ. In pronunciation, the tanween is what, guys? Is a noon sakina. So who can tell me? Yani this sukun is not the Quranic sukun, and until now I couldn't find a way to write the Quranic sukun on Microsoft Word other than just inserting it, and it needs like a miracle to get it. Bismillah, let's see if this will work. No, I like to write for you the sukun that, okay, alhamdulillah, here you go. So غفور, you see the tanween, guys, is what? The tanween is what? Is a noon sakina in pronunciation. But look, we have a dhamma here. So who can tell me, what do you understand from this? غفور, what do you understand from this? The tanween is represented by the second haraka, right, guys? Right? This is also important to understand idgham, right? This is important to understand idgham and ikhfa. Tanween is this. This is the tanween, is a noon sakina. And here's the first haraka, right? Right? So the tanween is practically the second haraka. Tamam? The second haraka. So we learned this is tanween, right? What is this tanween? What are the two dhammat? That's tanween. That's, I think, tolerance in expression. If you want to be precise, the tanween is the second haraka itself. Mashi? Is that clear? So, taking the tanween away, when we say we're going to take the tanween away, what will we take? We only take one haraka, because the tanween is represented by the second haraka. Tamam? By the second haraka. So here, we're going to take the tanween, right? And that's what's left. Qafu, rurra. And we're going to stress the, come on, Yammo. Here, we're going to stress the ra. Tamam? Is that clear? So the tanween is represented by the second haraka, by the noon, which is gone. So taking the tanween, take only one haraka, and we keep the first haraka. Ghafuru, ururra. Okay, this might confuse you a little bit because we have two ra'at, but let's take another example. I think I have examples here, right? Yeah, but we didn't write it this way. Let's write it this way. Let's take Aishatin Radiya. Let's take Aishatin Radiya, for example. Aishatin Radiya. Aishatin Radiya. Okay, so Aishatin is practically, or in pronunciation, it's like this. Aisha tin, right? Tin. MashaAllah. Amazing. Aisha tin. Radiyah. Right? In pronunciation. Yalla. So we're going to take the tanween away. Down. Yalla. Take the tanween away. Huh? Aisha ti. Tirra. Tamam. Allah, I should move this to the new book also. Aisha tirra. Okay, guys, you see that? Radiyah. So, Tanween. The Tanween is represented by the second haraka. Here it is. Drop the Tanween means drop the second haraka, means drop that noon. So, Aisha T. And here a common mistake is that people don't make a full haraka. There's Aisha Te, Terra, Aisha Terra. No, ya akhi, not Aisha Terra. Huh? Not Aisha Terra, right? Aisha Tirra, T, Tirra. Come on, guys. Taking the tanween away means taking only one haraka. And that's why we have the first haraka, T. So instead of saying tin, drop the noon, sakina, which is the tanween, and go to the ra. Tirra, Aisha Tirra. Okay. I think we put more than enough time on this. So that is idgham without ghunnah. Taking the tanween away means taking only the second haraka, because the tanween is represented by the second haraka. Do not put more time on the stressed letter. Again, yani guys, by Allah's blessings, yani these notes, you don't find all of them in one book. Okay, these common mistakes, these tips, you don't find them easily in one book. Okay, and inshallah, by Allah's blessings, inshallah, within 1 or 2 weeks, I'll publish the book in which we have all the tajweed rules that students need. Not explanation of Al-jazariyya and these details. No, only the rules you need. Only the rules you need to read the Quran. All the rules, with all the exceptions, with all the special words. Inshallah, if Allah wills. So do not put more time on the stressed letter. So we don't say, as some students say, mir rabbika. No, it's not mir rabb. It's just 2 ra'at as a mushaddad letter. Mir rabbika, right? As some imams, for example, they say waladdall. No, that's not mushaddad. You made so many lams, ya akhi. Is one lam. Waladdallin. Okay, just like that. Just like that. Oh, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. I sent to one of the imams, subhanallah. He's praying just like a couple of weeks ago. And he's saying Al-lazina, Sirat al-lazina. And he's saying, he's changing the tha into a sin. The tha into a sin. The dha into a zai. So I sent him a nice message and recording. He didn't reply. So subhanallah, yani, it's a big problem. Yani, you have people who come and give a khutbah and lead salah, and they're not even reading al-Fatiha correctly. I'm not talking about tajweed, and I'm just talking about the basic letters. If you cannot pronounce the basic letters, just let someone lead. Let one of the brothers lead. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. And the problem, some of them, you give them advice, they don't even care. They don't even listen. MashaAllah. So that's the situation in many masajid. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. So, and never shy away of giving advice. And you hear an imam changing the letter, give him advice. Let them say what they want to say. Just give them a nice piece of advice and khalas. Secretly, of course. Send them a message, take their number, send them a message, send them. So give advice. Don't be shy. Don't be feel they will say this person is this. Don't care. This is an obligation on the Muslim. If someone leading salah and changing a letter, don't be shy. Give piece of advice, right? If you don't and no one does, okay, this imam thinks, mashallah, he's doing a great job. No, you either learn how to pronounce the letters correctly and lead salah correctly, or let someone else lead, right? And the scholars, they said, for example, if someone doesn't pronounce some letters and cannot pronounce some letters, and he does his best and he cannot, he's excused. Allah will not overburden you, but you don't go and lead people in prayer, and you don't go and teach people, right? Unless all the people that you're leading, all of them like you, then okay, bismillah, right? Allahumma alimna ma yanfa'una wa tub alayna ya rabbal alameen. Yeah, in salah you correct the imam, of course you correct the imam if he changes the meaning. If he changes the meaning, yes, but yani, if he's not pronouncing the letter correctly, mashi. But if he changes the meaning, for example, if he says لِيُنذِرَ يَوْمَ الطَّلَاقِ, and instead of يَوْمَ التَّلَاقِ, you correct him. In salah, you correct him. You read لِيُنذِرَ, you read it right so that he hears you and read it correctly. Because التَّلَاقِ means the day of judgment, the day of meeting. الطلاق, the day of divorce. Right? And there are mistakes in Al-Fatiha. There are mistakes in Al-Fatiha that will make your salah invalid. Okay, according to some scholars. So why risk our salah, and why such people go and lead and they risk our salah and they don't know how to read, right? وَإِنَّا لِلَّهِ وَإِنَّا إِلَيْهِ رَاجِعُونَ. So we hope they listen. So do not put more time on the stressed letter. Okay, don't say مِرْ رَبِّكَ. No, it's مِرْ رَبِّكَ, مِرْ رَبِّكَ, مِرْ أَنَّ or أَلَّ. With the noon you put extra ghunnah. Just pronounce it as you pronounce a normal letter with a shadda. مِرْ as-sama. You don't say as-sama, right? Ash. We notice that the idgham is made here because noon and lam and ra come from close makharij, and idgham makes it easier, as we mentioned. Here are the examples. عيشة را. طب يلا, let's read those examples, guys, quickly. عيشة راضية. يلا, unmute yourself and all of you read at once.
عيشة راضية.
ويل لكل همزة لمزة.
ويل لكل
همزة
لمزة.
Okay, here you pay attention, guys, huh? We don't say ويل لكل همزة. No, just one stressed letter. ويل لكل همزة تلمزة. And of course it depends on the speed of the recitation, right? If you're reading with tahqiq, ويل لكل همزة لمزة. But if you're reading hadr, ويل لكل همزة لمزة, همزة تلو, right? من ربك. يلا, من ربك. Ahmad, are you here, Ahmad? Ahmad, you're here? يلا, read يا أخي. Unmute yourself and read 1, 2, 3. من ربك.
من ربك.
تمام. كلا لئن لم.
كلا لئن لم.
Okay. Notice that the tanween is in gray. Look, guys, here the tanween is in gray in the tajweed mus-haf. Okay, telling you that it's dropped, right? If it was up to me, and if I have the tools, I would advise them to make only one haraka in gray. make only one haraka in a gray, right? Because practically, but of course that will take them, but if they did it right from the beginning, if the person who advised them, he was like more aware, right when they did the tajweed mushaf, it would have been much better and much more precise that you make a gray only one haraka. It would have been much better and clearer and nicer, right? So students, they see only one haraka as a gray, means I'm dropping only one haraka, right, guys? Still, it's possible. I hope they listen. Until now, they have not been listening. Yani the tajweed mushaf people, I send them a message to the founder and to the owner of that Dar al-Ma'rifah, and I gave them some points. Until now, no response. I hope they will respond one day. Anyway, so Aisha tirra, tirra. Make just one haraka gray, akhi, because you're dropping one haraka. Okay? And we're keeping the second. Aisha tirra. And the lam and the ra have shadda. Okay? Of course, because they are mudgham, right? They are mudgham, right? And what else? This means that tanween is silent because we merged it into the idgham letter on which a shadda is placed. Tamam? Also notice that if you guys see any mistake in the wording, you have any better like wording, Bismillah, go ahead. Yani, this is not like a professional person who's writing. Also notice that the two harakat of the tanween are not exactly above each other, unlike al-idhar, as we will see later, inshallah. So also another point, this is not from the tajweed mushaf, by the way, guys. This is in the original, or in the when they put the harakat, the Muslim scholars, before the tajweed mushaf. Before you look at any normal mushaf, even if it doesn't have tajweed, the colors of tajweed, you see this. You see that only in idhar you see the harakat exactly above each other. You see that the tanween al-dam like this. Okay? Tanween al-nasb like this. Tanween al-jar like this. So exactly above each other. That's idhar. This telling you this is idhar. In idgham and ikhfa, like here, as you can see here, they're not exactly above each other. Okay? So they're sliding. They're not idhar. Okay? Same thing here. You see they're not above each other. Tamam? So same thing here. Humazatil. So that's a sign also that tells you there is an idgham here. Notice that the nun sakina is gray. Tamam, same thing here. The nun sakina. Look at the nun sakina. It's a gray. Look at the nun sakina in a gray. This means what? This means the nun is silent. You're gonna skip it. Of course, you're gonna skip it when you make idgham. But if you stop, you have to keep it, right? You have to keep it. Okay. Notice that the nun sakina is gray and doesn't have a sukoon on it because it's silent. Look, no sukoon on the nun. Generally speaking, whenever you see a letter in the Quran that doesn't have a haraka, doesn't have anything on it, means it's silent. Tamam? You're gonna drop it. But you're gonna drop it when? If you connect. Okay, if you connect. But if you see the tilted circle, الدائرة المائلة أنا أسميها على أي حرف, this means this letter is always silent. If you see the tilted circle on any letter, this means that letter always silent. ماشي? Okay. So we're done with this. So it doesn't have sukoon on it because it's silent. Also notice that the following letter has a shadda because the noon has been merged into it. Idgham with ghunnah. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna drop the tanween or noon sakina. We're gonna drop the second haraka. Tamam? And we're gonna stress the second letter, but the difference is that we're gonna add a ghunnah here. And what ghunnah? Longest ghunnah. So we take the noon sakin or tanween away and stress the following letter, but we add a ghunnah, longest ghunnah. That's why it's called idgham with ghunnah. We do this when we have any of these letters, human letters, or yanmu, human or yanmu, or yanmu. Okay, after the noon sakina, or the tanween. If we have any of these letters after the noon sakina or tanween, we're going to make idgham with ghunnah. Now, here's another important point, how you apply the idgham with ghunnah. We apply the longest ghunnah only on the first part of the stressed letter, means on the second one, not the second. And this picture shows you clearly how we do that. Malan wa'addadah. We're going to take the tanween away, which is this harakah. What's left? Ma la, right? Ma la. And we're going to stress the waw, right? So the stressed waw is basically two wawat. So here we can make another stage, if you like, between these two. Okay, we can make another stage. We can say ma lawa addada. Tamam. And this will be made like this. So we dropped one harakah. What's left? Ma la, ma la. We're not going to say ma lan. Drop the noon. Don't touch the gum. Ma la. We drop the tanween, so no noon. Not ma lan. Ma la. Now what do I have to do? I have to move to the waw. And instead of my tongue touching the gum, I have to go to the waw. Ma law. Lawa. Lawa. That's tashdid without ghunnah. And that's a common mistake that some students do. They say ma lawa addadah, ma lawa. So here there are many mistakes, guys. The first mistake, you don't do any ghunnah. You don't do any ghunnah, but you make a long time. Ma lawa, ma lawa. What is that? Who can tell me what is that? When you say ma lawa, what is that? Yalla guys, how many people are there? 10 people, 9 people. Are you there?
Like stress in it, like it's stress in it.
What am I doing? Ma lawa addadah. What is the mistake? There are two mistakes.
You're stressing
or you can consider one mistake. Yalla, go ahead.
You're stressing the first waw without any ghunnah from the nasal cavity.
So we can say you're just missing the ghunnah, right? You're just missing the ghunnah. Only add the ghunnah, then it will be right. Don't say ma lawa. So that's not even idgham without ghunnah. That's a wrong type of idgham. Because if it was idgham without ghunnah, as Imam Khalaf reads in one of the 10 qira'at, he reads this without ghunnah, but not ma lawa. He reads it like the lam and the ra. Ma lawa addadah, ma lawa addadah. Tamam. فَمَن يَعْمَلْ. That's idgham without ghunnah. But when you say ma lawa, you're not making idgham without ghunnah, and you're not making idgham with ghunnah. You're making a new type of idgham, which doesn't exist in any qira'ah. Okay? Now, forget what I said. Come back to hafs. You don't say ma lawa. You have to get ghunnah on the first stressed letter, or on the first part of the stressed letter, which is the waw in this case. So, ma law. So the waw is mixed with the ghunnah, the first waw. Ma lawa. Once you finish the first waw and the longest ghunnah is over, you're going to pronounce the second waw without any ghunnah. Tamam, without any ghunnah. Ma lawa. Wa. Not ma lawa. Right? No. Another mistake, ma lawa addada, ma lawa, to make idgham without ghunnah, and that's not right in hafs. Ma lawa addada, no. So ma lawa, aw. See, when you say aw, this is This is the part I'm pronouncing here. This one, huh? It's what? The waw with longest ghunnah. It's two things together. A waw with longest ghunnah, huh? Aw. See? Aw. Waw with longest ghunnah. Aw. Wa. Then you say the other waw, right? That is idgham with ghunnah. ما لو وعدده ما لو ما لو. Okay. Second example, فمن يعمل. Same thing exactly. فمن, the longest ghunnah with the first ya, which is the first part of the stressed letter, right? فمن يعمل is like this, right? Sorry. فمن مية. It's مية, right? Like this. So this stressed ya is basically two ya'at, one sakina and one maftuha, right? One sakina and one maftuha. مية مية. Tamam? That is the other idgham. فمن يعمل فمن. Any question? Those who are watching online also, if you have a question, you can leave a comment. فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة. So here we have this idgham with ghunnah. And here there's a common mistake. Some people make ikhfa or idgham. So make idhar here. And then idgham with ghunnah again. طب يلا, let's try this ayah. فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يره. يلا, who's gonna try? يلا, go ahead يا أحمد.
يعمل.
Continue sister. يلا.
فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يره.
As if I didn't hear a full ghunnah in خيرا. One more time.
Yeah.
خيرا.
خيرا يره.
Are you making ghunnah on the first ya?
Yes.
I feel there is no ghunnah.
يره.
خيرا. Like this, or خيرا. Close your nose when you say خيرا and let me hear.
خيرا يره.
Did you close?
Yes.
And the sound still is coming, so you're not making the ghunnah.
Yeah, pure yeah.
Right? So listen. خيرا. Like this. خيرا. But you're saying خيرا. This means you're making it without ghunnah, right? Try one more time. Who is that? Is that Halima?
Yes.
Try one more time.
خيرا يره.
You see the difference? Now you got it, right? Right? Did you see the difference? Okay.
Yes.
طب يلا أحمد. يلا يا أحمد.
عاملة ناصبة.
No, read for me. خيرا يره.
خيرا يره.
Longer.
خيرا يره.
Right. Now, عاملة ناصبة, guys. Here, there's an issue that I don't want to waste your time on it, but just to get an idea. You know, we have idgham kamil and idgham naqis, right? We have complete idgham and incomplete idgham. Okay? When do we have complete idgham? Who can tell me? Yalla, guys. Yalla, teachers. When do we have complete idgham?
Complete idgham with 4 letters. Ya mim. Ya mim lam ra. Sorry, mim lam ra.
Noon, mim, lam, ra.
Yes.
That's idgham kamil, full idgham. Interesting. طب يلا. Anyone has another idea? Not here only, in general. When is the idgham kamil? When is the idgham naqis?
Nun sakina tanween after Islam and
What is that?
When we have noon sakina or tanween after noon or tanween lam or ra.
مو after. If you say noon sakin or tanween after lam, يعني بتجي اللام والراء بعدين بتجي نون ساكنة.
Lam and ra after
followed
noon
by.
sakina or
Only
tanween.
followed by. Only noon sakin or tanween. Followed by lam or ra. Right? Speak, ya Sheikh Suhaib. Let me hear your voice. I missed you. No. Idgham kamil. Stop sending anything to the chat. Okay. ماشي. خير إن شاء الله. It's broken. Okay. Put some. Okay. Bismillah. Idgham kamil, guys. Focus with me. Write it down, please. When there is nothing of the first letter left. Just write down this sentence. When there is nothing of the first letter left. Nothing. Neither a ghunnah nor any sifa. This will include all types of idgham kamil. When is the idgham kamil? When there is nothing left of the first letter. Example, if I say ahattu, who can tell me, is this idgham kamil or naqis? And why? Yalla, yalla, guys, yalla.
Naqis.
Why naqis?
Because it's still heavy.
Because we have what? What's left of the ta?
Itbaq.
Itbaq. The itbaq of the ta is still there. Ahattu. The itbaq is there. So there is something left of the first sifa. Okay, what about man ya'mal? Man ya'mal. Is this kamil or naqis?
Naqis.
Why?
The ghunnah of the noon still left.
Exactly, because there is something left of the first letter, of the mudgham letter, of the mudgham letter, of the merged letter. What is it? The ghunnah of the noon, right or no? So the rule is very simple. Idgham, we consider it kamil when there is nothing left of the merged letter. When there is nothing left of the mudgham letter. أنا بدي أطلع على المظاهرة حنان، إذا بدكم تطلعوا على السريع لبسيهم وجهزوا وركبوا على السيارة بسرعة.
Sheikh Abdullah, there is a definition in my brain, but I don't know if it's right or wrong. But
what is it?
عندما يختفي الحرف الأول قلبا وقالبا.
ماشي بيصير.
يعني I think I heard it somewhere, but I'm not sure about it.
Yeah. That's right. But يعني in simple words, عندما لا يبقى من الحرف الأول شيء.
Okay.
خلاص. ماشي. وقلبا وقالبا يعني شوي صعبة بدها تفسير يعني.
اوكي.
ما يعني قالبا إذا قصدهم الحرف موجود لا يزال مكتوب يعني، فربما فيها شوي إشكال هذا التعريف. إذا لا يبقى من الحرف الأول شيء، لا غنة ولا صفة ولا شيء. So when there is nothing of the first letter, which is the merged letter, left, then it's idgham kamil. Now here's my question for you. What about min? So we agreed, for example, mallahu, this is idgham what? Kamil or naqis? Hiba, what do you think, Hiba?
Kamil.
Why kamil?
Because there's nothing left from the noon, like there's no comment.
Okay, great. What about now, guys? Here is the confusion that some people bring about, and they make it a big deal. Min ni'matin. Yalla. Min, noon sakina. Ni'matin, noon with harakah. What will we do? Obviously, we're gonna drop the first noon, stress the second. That's idgham with what? Min ni. Idgham with what? Ghunna, right?
Yes.
طب يلا, who can tell me, is this idgham kamil or naqis? And why? Sister Halima said, what did you say, Sister Halima?
I said noon mim and lam and ra is full idgham kamil.
So here this is idgham kamil you are saying.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Who agrees, who doesn't agree? This is, this is irrelevant. Yani this doesn't have a practical implication. But this is just a point for you to just learn it once and forget it. Yani, so you don't need to discuss about it or waste time on it. Just to give you an idea, if some people like confuse you or something, or they bring about this issue?
I think it's naqis because we still have longest ghunnah here.
We have longest ghunna.
Yeah, because if we just noon with kasra, it's not longest ghunnah, but because we have idgham, we should do a longest ghunnah.
Okay. Okay. So as you can see, there are two views, guys. There are two views for this. Okay. Practically, it's the same. Whether you say this is idgham kamil or naqis, how will you read it? Min ni'matin, min ni'matin, right or no? Everybody will read it. Min ni'matin. Same thing with the meme, huh? Bihijarat. Same thing we're gonna say about the meme. Bihijaratin min, bihijaratin min. Tamam. Now, those who say this is idgham kamil, those who say this is idgham kamil, like Sister Halima and the others, they're considering the noon is completely gone. Neither it's ghunnah, nothing left of the noon. Well, then we will ask them, what about this, the ghunnah that you're applying here, this longest ghunnah? They say this longest ghunnah, we're applying it because the noon with shadda has a longest ghunnah. Tamam? Tamam, Hanan? واضح?
Yes.
So this is the view that this is idgham. Idgham what? Idgham. Still it is idgham kamil. Still it is idgham what? Kamil. Tamam? Tamam? And that's why, guys, look here. Here, when we have idgham at the noon, they kept the shadda. Who can tell me why they kept the shadda? Look here, they kept the shadda. Why? Look at the meme, they kept the shadda. Here, look here at the meme, they kept the shadda. But look here on the noon, on the ya, they did not put the shadda. On the waw, where's the waw? Where's the waw? Here, they didn't put the shadda. Why? Because here, it's not only ya, there's ghunnah left. So it's not a pure ya with a shadda. It's ya with a shadda and it has longest ghunnah. Same thing here. Miu, it's a waw mushaddada and it has ghunnah on the first part. Miu. So no shadda here. Do you see, guys? The scholars of Quran, they're not like, they know what they're doing. Here they put the shadda, tamam? They put the shadda to tell you that nothing of the first noon left. Nothing of the first noon left. Okay. Yeah. So all of the noon is gone. And now here, this noon with a shadda and meme with a shadda, since they put the shadda here, they're telling you what? That nothing of the first noon left. And since the noon and meme have longest ghunnah when they have a shadda because they're ghunnah letters, so we're gonna apply to them the longest ghunnah. Tamam? We're gonna apply to them the longest ghunnah. Is that clear? Is that clear? On the other hand, they might say, the other group might tell you, well, then you should call this idgham without ghunnah, and then you added the ghunnah just because there's no with shadda, right? And this is also possible. So forget about this issue. It doesn't matter. You consider it idgham kamil or naqis. If someone says, no, this is idgham naqis, because we still have ghunnah of the noon. We still have longest ghunnah. You say, that's also right. No problem. Yes, we have that. So is this ghunnah the ghunnah of the noon, the first noon that we dropped, or the ghunnah of the stressed noon? Wallah, it doesn't matter, yani. Allah knows, yani. It doesn't matter, yani. Okay? It doesn't matter whether it's the ghunnah of this noon that we dropped or this noon. It's the same thing exactly. Mashi? Any question on this? So let me read just these examples, and or khalas, let's read these examples starting next time, inshallah. So we start from here, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. صلى اللهم وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. So practically we explained only idgham without ghunnah and idgham with ghunnah, and we'll try to speed up next time inshallah so that we finish these topics. And again, these classes, brothers and sisters, for teachers, for ijazah students, for advanced learners. These details just to help them understand the rules, etc. For you as a normal Muslim, if you're watching this video, just go to Easy Tajweed playlist. In 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you learn the idgham and you learn what you need to do practically, and that's it. So don't come here and watch this video and say, oh, they made Quran complicated. No. That's maybe not for you. Okay? اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا